Hello, welcome back to Sleep Game. My name is Luke, and this is my first impressions video, I should say, for NieR Replicant, which is I'm not quite sure, is it a remake or remaster? I think it's somewhere in between. I think it's more for kind of realign the story and make it line up with Automata a bit more, perhaps. I don't know. So for everyone, I guess. I have so far played the first hour or so of NieR, so this, like I said, is giving me my first impressions so far in. I've skipped ahead a bit because there's a lot of running about and stuff like that in the first bit. So this is the first bit after the intro that's got some kind of substance to it that I could talk about. This is obviously pre-recorded. I played it and then I've cut it down and what have you. Just got to the interesting parts. I'm really glad we stopped there though, because oh boy, does this game get framey at some really random points. Just no combat or anything here, but I don't know, single digit frames there probably, and then it just snaps back in to normal. It's really weird. It does it again in a moment when I'm talking to the lady in her office or something. I don't know. It just dips at really random points. I've had no trouble in combat or anything like that, and it's a NieR game, so the combat's pretty fast paced. It's really weird, really bizarre, but other than that, no issues so far. I really like the visuals, I want to say. I think while they do look a bit outdated, I still quite like the aesthetic. There we go, there's frames going again. Just in this isn't an intensive scene at all. It's really bizarre. Really bizarre. And I haven't fiddled with any settings or anything like that. I haven't played around and put them on, super high definition or anything like that. It's just gone straight in and started playing. So it's not even a graphical thing. It's really bizarre. Really bizarre. So we're trying to find our, I think so, sister, who's not quite run away, but she's wandered off, sort of thing. Don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of loading screens. Fun fact for you. For those who like or loved NieR Automata like I did, the voice actor for B9S is the same voice actor that you will hear in this, doing the voice of the main character, who on IMDb is just down as question mark, which I think is fair because you type in your name. He doesn't have a name. One thing I have found that's kind of the biggest thing that's thrown me off about this game so far is that I'm playing on PC. And to interact with things, open doors, pick stuff up, it's F instead of E like it would traditionally be. So it's not the E key, which is throwing me off a little bit. Another loading screen there. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know about that one. It's throwing me off a little bit, but I'll get used to it. You will hear me reference NieR Automata a lot, probably mostly because I'm very, 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 very curious as to how this will get to NieR Automata. NieR Automata is a very sci-fi heavy game. It's robots, androids, big old mechs, stuff like that, laser guns, for your little flying boy thing. Whereas this is a lot more kind of fantasy. It's magic. It's what are they? They're like demons. I think they're called shadows. I'm very, very curious how they make the jump. This bit tickled me a bit because, what he'll say now.
There's no way Yona could have made it past here.
Definitely no way. Yeah, there's definitely no way she could have made it past that rock slide there with those steps and that ladder right there. Definitely couldn't have. Not a chance. No way. Like I said, just going back to the visuals really quick. it does still look like a PlayStation 3, maybe a early PS4 game, like very early PS4 game. Um, that looks really cool. I really look at that. That reminds me of Jack and Daxter too. Yeah, it reminds me of Jack and Dexter. um, yeah, but it's still, even though it looks, there's the frames again. Random frame rates. It's mad. Really confusing. Because if I remember correctly, I just stand there and it pops back in. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Not quite. And there we go. It's really bizarre. It's like it's buffering. It's really odd. Really odd. But yeah, no, visually it still looks like a PlayStation 3 early PS4 game. But aesthetically I like it. I can't really put my finger on it. It's just got that NieR kind of charm to it. Like, you can tell it's a NieR game. I don't know. It's really weird. That's also what makes me think that this is more for story and gameplay based, rather than, updating the visuals too much. Because I think they have been updated. I didn't play the original one. I think they were early PS3. I'm not sure. So I think it is just more maybe fiddling around with the story and getting the story to be a bit more cohesive, maybe, because the overarching story goes over 4 different games, I think it is, off the top of my head, and it's bizarre. It's hard to follow. I've watched so many videos trying to figure out the overarching story from Drakengard 2, NieR, I guess NieR Replicant now, and NieR Automata, and it's very, very confusing. Very confusing, because it's only certain endings or certain situations that lead to the next game, so you might not even get the right ending to take you to the next game. It's very bizarre. I do wonder if they're going to do, offer the popularity of NieR Automata, because who boy was that popular. I do wonder if they're going to do the same thing they're doing with Replicant and do that to Drakengard. Maybe take Drakengard 1 and 2, amalgamate them, and then, I don't know, tidy up the story so it all links in. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'd play them. I would love to understand the story, but man, this is a difficult one. Again, I really like the design of this area. The massive tree in the middle with a building built around it. It's very, very cool. It's very fantasy. And I just really, 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 really want to know how they link this. Whether we're going to see, I don't know, some kind of evolution to NieR Automata, or I don't know, the beginnings of what happens to get to NieR Automata, perhaps. Because there's like an alien invasion, and then humans go up to the moon, I think it is, and then they build androids to fight the aliens, and it's all very, very, very confusing. Very confusing. Bit more combat here. I really like the combat. I think the combat is very fun. It's not quite platinum level combat, but it is still quite fun. The dodge in particular is quite handy, because it will act as a regular roll, and you will just roll forward, roll to the side, or you could do like that just then and kind of loop around, which I haven't quite figured out how to enact that every time, if you've got to be stood in a certain place, or if it is based on when you hit an attack or something like that. But it's very handy. It's very, very nice addition to be able to just loop around behind very quickly. Very, very cool indeed. And like I said, it's all pretty silky smooth. Like I said, not quite NieR Automata platinum levels, but it's good. It is good. Definitely does the job. There's some more of these beasties. We've got there's a couple of variations of these. We've got those tiny ones who are they're a little bugger, because they move quite quickly, and if you don't pay attention to them, they'll get distance and they'll shoot you with those red orbs that we've seen in NieR Automata previously. I take it the rest of the NieR game, or the other NieR game rather. Again, don't know, haven't played it. The camera is a bit iffy. I found the camera, even when it's locked on, it doesn't follow in the way I'd like. It jumps around to different different enemies depending on where you're looking. It doesn't follow the one enemy you've locked onto, which is a bit of a bugbearer for me. So I'm kind of weaning off using it and just manually moving the camera around, which is a bit difficult because it's a bit floaty. It's a little bit floaty and a little bit difficult to manage at the minute. Yeah, I haven't played a NieR game in a while. Whoopsie. Yeah, completely jumped somewhere I couldn't. So I ended up right at the bottom again. Got to get flashbacks to Ocarina of Time. Did that plenty of times. The music though. Oh, music. Very cool. I love the music in NieR. I adore the music in NieR Automata. I regularly listen to. I listen to it in my car. I'm very very glad that they've kept the level up. You know, the music in this so far, from what I've heard, is incredible. Very very cool. You get angelic stuff like this. You get it's used to help tell the story in such a cool way in Automata. I'm really hoping it continues to do that through Replicant as well. Got your funny little Naruto run sprint thingy there, which again is another one that annoyed me a little bit because I don't always want to shoot around really fast. I want to stop and look at things and look at collectibles and what have you. So I kind of wish you could toggle that, but again, that's a minor, very minor thing. That doesn't matter grand scheme by any stretch. Lots of doors. And again, going back to the comparisons to Automata, switching the camera, switching the perspective, something that Automata played around with. Does make combat a bit interesting because it doesn't change the controls, I don't think. So that makes that a bit tricky. It's easy to get stuck behind stuff, but hey, it's all good. I beat them. We're all good. It's fine. Yeah, a new weapon. It's a big dagger. It looks like it should be quite tiny, but it's not. It's a meaty boy. There you go. So it's almost zoomed in on a dagger. It's pretty effective though. I quite like this one. So if timed right, I don't know if I do it here. Maybe I do. I'm not sure. But you can also you can deflect and get a sneaky attack in. It will, if you time it right, it will deflect it properly, deflect it away, and it will slow down the enemy as well. So you can get a couple of heavy shots in and do a good amount of damage there. It's a pretty easy one to enact. It's a pretty easy one to actually get to grips with. It's not like Sekiro or Demon Souls or something like that where it takes a lot of practice. It is a fairly easy one to get to grips with, but it is a nice touch. Makes combat. It's something I used to do in Assassin's Creed a lot. I used to wait until the enemy attacked me and then deflect and get a heavy shot in. It's a good tactic to use. I think I should do it in here. There's that dodge I was talking about. Very, very handy. It looks like you're Beyblading around them. Loads of fun. There it is. It's very handy as well because you do like a big old slice, so you can take more than one enemy out at a time. Very, very handy to just keep in the back of your mind and keep using because it deals with enemies very, very quickly. More of these rooms. I'm not. Oh, actually, I do remember what these are for. I do remember what the blocks are for now, actually. I'm not sure if I like the character design for the enemies or not. They remind me of Death Stranding. People that have watched my review of it and my my podcast, you know how I feel about Death Stranding. So don't want to talk about that game. Don't want to be reminded of that game, and yet here we are talking about it, reminded of it. Ugh. No more. No more. More of these tiny boys. They're tricky. They're very quick. Because they're small, it's very easy to miss them. Very easy to miss them on an attack. There we go. There's that counter again. Except it's pretty easy to nail that one. I think I'll try again. Yeah, there we go. See? Pretty easy to nail. Pretty easy to nail. These ones, they're a bit more of a pain in the ass. Not so much of a fan of these little ones. Like I said, they're a bit more difficult. They're a bit more tricky to hit because they are smaller and they do move around quicker. Oh boy, didn't notice that. You're all bloody. You're all bloody, mate. That's not good. You do not look presentable at all. Ah. Just listening to the music is so nice. So good. So good. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. Big door.
Looks like you can get outside from here.
You can. I never went through that other door though. I don't know if there was something there. So I was convinced that that wasn't the way to go. I thought that was going to be the way we go after I save. I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot her name. After you save your sister, maybe? I think she's your sister. I thought that was how you would escape, but it ain't. It's the way you meant to go. Ah, yes. I love it when a game tells me how to double jump. I know how to double jump. Doesn't everybody? I think even people that pick up a controller for the first time understand a double jump these days. See, that's what I mean. The aesthetic. I love the aesthetic. It looks so cool, even if it does look a bit dated, or fairly dated in this case. It just still, there's something about it that still looks really cool and appealing and appeasing to me. Maybe it's just NieR. Maybe it is just I've got NieR goggles on, so everything just looks better than it actually does, perhaps. But I don't know. There you go. That's what you do with these blocks. You actually move them.
That ladder broke. I could probably get up there.
The ladder is broken. Yeah, this was a bit of a long process. I always hate moving blocks around because it takes a while. And you can't move it. Yeah, you can only push it forward or backwards. You can't, push it to the side. So you always got to move around, and it just takes a long time to do. It kind of kills momentum a bit. But not the end of the world by any stretch. I remember this is a bit that stuck out to me because I get on. There you go. Could not get up there. Just couldn't do it. I thought I was supposed to just jump on the ladder, but he was having none of it. He wouldn't grab the ladder. Ended up jumping through the ladder apparently. Not sure what I was doing wrong there, but hey ho. I do wonder, because this is you play the opening, I don't know, 10-20 minutes or so, and then you go, I think it was 1412 years into the future. So this is far in the future, but in the opening bit it looked a bit more modern. It looked it looked like you were just in a built up area, full of offices and stuff like that. So I wonder if, I don't know, it being a fantasy style game, maybe either time not necessarily works backwards, Oh, there she is. Not necessarily work backwards, but you've gone so far forward in time that you've gone back in time, or maybe simpler is you've gone so far ahead in time that the the structures have been demolished or become ruins and that, and people are having to build everything themselves instead of having machines and construction workers and stuff like that. So everything just is a bit simpler again, maybe. Probably. That's probably what it is. There was probably some big old disaster that we didn't see in those 1,000 years. Or maybe this is just a separate area. Maybe it's just a different bit.
I have to save Yona.
Very cool design here. Very cool design. It's a book. It's a book. Kind of matrixy then. Very cool. Very cool designs. I love a figure of those. Kind of looks like 9S as well, just without the band around his eyes, around his head.
For the love of all that is holy, would you please stop pounding me?
Then
That's what she
go.
said.
Yona!
By the heavens, I have never been treated in such a manner.
Yeah, so talking book.
Calculable importance.
Talking
Yes,
magical book. It gets better. It does get better.
Yona, say something.
That's the mysterious book for assistance. Don't think there was really much choice, to be honest with you, but
There. So how do we save
I love the book.
once I destroy these shades, the magic barrier preventing your passage should simply disappear.
Very Fable.
You can really do that?
Talks like a character out of Fable. The idea of a magic flying book that helps you out. He's called Grimoire. Like, such a,
Then do it already.
I don't know, he's a fun character already. Already. Well, a bit tired. It's almost my bedtime,
Keep
I think.
going.
You shouldn't have turned your blades on me.
See, this is what I mean by the, the combat is, it feels very NieR Automata, but without quite being up to that level. Like, it's very fast. It could be quite frantic rather. There's a lot going on at once, and the lock on, it doesn't like that. For instance, the lock on doesn't quite work as well as I would have liked, because it will just jump between enemy while you're looking in the direction of a different enemy, sort of thing. It won't keep your focus on that enemy when you're looking, like your character is looking away, sort of thing. Here we go, magical book. It reminds me of the little android flying thing that you get with you when you're playing as 2B and 9S in NieR Automata. It shoots the projectiles. So many, like I said, there's so many links, of course, between the two games, but I'm really, really, really curious how you get from, a magical book and, demons and stuff like that roaming around. I wonder if demons are anything to do with the aliens from
Is this
the opening of NieR Automata. Well, not the opening, but, when they explain to you what happened to the Earth.
Hold on, Yona.
Grimoire Vice. What a character. He's good fun.
Is that all of
I only played him with him a little bit, but he's a lot of fun. The character models do look kind of like action figures. Their eyes and facial features look kind of painted on. Here we go. So this is the first proper boss fight. Ornstein Smaug, kind of reminiscent of those kind of Ornstein Smaug vibes. Just in that there's two of them. They're not particularly difficult to deal with, but I think they're very cool designs. Like I said, I love little statues or little figures or something like that of them.
Who keeps his head in a fight is the one who emerges victorious.
A talking book and moving statues? Really?
Yeah, I feel that. Talking book, moving statues. How does that? I don't know. Unless the I don't know. They don't look robotic, do they? Apart from the glowing eyes, maybe they are robotic. Maybe this is a precursor to all the robots and androids in.
Like I said,
I don't know. I don't know. So this is kind of why this boss fight is kind of easy. One kind of taps out at a time, so you only got to really focus on one. And you can do a lot of damage at range like that. I think I was trying to find health. Oops. I think I was trying to find a health thing there. Got my health, but I'm not quite sure where that went, to be honest with you. It seems like it was locked on Grimoire settings rather than, being able to eat a herb for some ice. From life. Ice? Life. God. Oh, man. I'm going to get to bed after this, I think. Okay, so that little clock thing, it's kind of like a KO meter. If you don't take that out in time, the enemy comes back. If you take it out in time, you get to do a cool finisher style. Woo. Yeah, that was close, wasn't it? Oh, he did the anime shocked face. That's in every anime, every kind of Japanese. I think it's probably in every kind of Japanese style game as well. The sort of look. Good fun. Good fun. See, it's kind of what I mean about the camera angles as well. You get stuck in a corner and it's very very difficult to see. It doesn't pull out beyond where you are, which I get. You're in a building, you're going to be limited to the cameras being in, or the camera angle being in that building, but it would have been nice if it pulled out a bit so you can still see what you're doing. But hey ho, minor things. The only real issue I've had so far is the weird frame rate dips. And again, like this isn't a particularly difficult boss, but I mean, being the first boss as well, you wouldn't expect it to be particularly difficult. But it's a good way to test what you've learned so far. There is one of the cool finishers. Big anal bead looking thing. Ooh, right in the eye. It's like a sniper bullet. It's like one of those bullets that wanted. Weird long ones. Now I was fully expecting this guy to get far more powerful now, but he doesn't. He's just as easy. He just has that attack, that fire attack, that can be a bit troublesome to deal with when you're trying to attack a certain thing or trying to get up your ranged attack with the book. I love Grimoire. I really like Grimoire so far. He already reminds me of I forget the name of the character, but the head from God of War. He's kind of witty in the same way. Like if you screw up, he's gonna tell you about it, and he's gonna take the piss out of you for it, sort of thing. Yeah, that's one of the attacks you can do with the book. The longer you hold that, the more projectiles you get, and they do a lot of damage. The more you can get, of course, but you've got to manage it, because if you hold on to it too long and you get attacked, they will just disappear and you've lost your chance. You lose health. Whole works. So wise. That's probably why he's called Wise. Terrible joke. Terrible joke. There we go. Take out the. Oh, there we go. Use a projectile to take out the. I don't know. I'm calling it a clock. I mean, I guess it is a clock because it counts down on there. I love these finishers though. I think they're really cool. They're a really nice addition, even if like it gets up from where he isn't, or where the enemy isn't, where you like taking him down sort of thing. Doesn't really matter, does it? Very cool design. Very cool design.
Yona!
Alright, go save the girl. Yona.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to help.
I'm the one who's sorry. You must have been scared out of your mind.
Why are you sorry? You shouldn't be sorry. She ran off. It's her fault. She should have stayed where you told her to.
Perhaps we'd best depart,
The shrine's about to collapse.
See, that's why
Let's go.
I've only played a tiny bit after this. Where this video ends is where I finished. I went and saved it a post box. But Grimoire is just already, like I say, he feels like a Fable character. He's got a good amount of wit. Big fan of him already. He's funny. Combination of funny and knowledgeable. It's like Stephen Fry. Funny and knowledgeable. Hey, that does look quite outdated there, doesn't it? Ooh. It's fine though. It's fine. It's okay. Visuals aren't everything.
You're faster than I thought.
And like I said, I think this is a remake or remaster in the sense of perhaps it makes the the combat and the gameplay a bit better, and then it makes the story a bit more cohesive, perhaps more than it is to
Just wanted to.
make it look levels of Final Fantasy VII remake or the Resident Evil remakes, which I'm cool with. If it makes the story cohesive, helps me understand how we get from here to NieR Automata, more than happy with it, especially if it's a good story.
Yona? What's going on?
Oh, tattoos. She's getting a sleeve. Yeah, there's a lot of loading screens in this. A lot of loading screens.
She has the black scroll.
The black scroll, not the black scroll.
When did this happen?
The weird coughing started about a month or
Well,
so
I
ago.
think
The disease
this is the end of it. I think we're about done.
strange runic symbols gradually spread.
Yeah, we are about done here.
There it
So yeah, so far combat is good. Visuals are a bit outdated, but I like the aesthetic still. Voice acting's very good so far. The music is awesome so far. Love the music, as I did with NieR Automata as well. Very, very happy so far. I'm very excited to see where the link is, see how these two come together. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my rambling over this little bit of gameplay that I captured. I will probably be back for Returnal in a week or so. So I will see you then.